I'm just going to talk a little bit now about the first trimester and bleeding in the first trimester. So obviously I do have a lot of fertility patients and they do come to see me for the first trimester. I recommend that people come and see me once a week just to help with any early symptoms such as nausea, exhaustion, etc. So sometimes you do have people have bleeding or spotting. So obviously the biggest fear around this is that it might be miscarriage. So we do treat this in Chinese medicine. So first of all, some bleeding in pregnancy can be completely normal. People can have it in early pregnancy, in late pregnancy. It can just be a little bit of spotting, or it can even be a more significant bleed. So sometimes it can be just changes to the cervix. Sometimes it can just be little polyps. It can just be something that just happens to some people. But obviously, any bleeding in pregnancy, you must get it checked out immediately. So always go to your midwife or to your GP and get that looked at. If they say that everything looks fine and that it's unexplained, bleeding, that they're not quite sure why it's happening, then it's really good to go for some acupuncture. So for us acupuncturists, it can be resulting to some underlying deficiency conditions, which we will treat with acupuncture and also give you dietary advice. So for example, if you are having some bleeding, then you really need to rest as much as possible. So I think Western medical advice is just to kind of carry on as normal, but for us it kind of shows that maybe you do need to rest up a little bit. Try and organise your life as much as possible to get as much rest as you can, and then food wise, you do really need to tonify yourself by eating well, and that means eating warm cooked foods, maybe things like miso soup, chicken soup, lots of soups, porridges, warm tonifying food. And we can do some points, raising and holding points with acupuncture, which will hopefully assist this process and help to counteract the bleeding. If it's an inevitable miscarriage, if there's something wrong with the fetus, then acupuncture is not strong enough to retain that fetus. So sadly the inevitable will happen, but I will talk about miscarriage in another video.